Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to another awesome episode. I have a special guest for today, a poised and self-spoken physician who has a lot to share, especially to the young females out there interested in fulfilling your dream in the field of medicine. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Frederick Acquah, and thank you for checking out this new video. Let's go. Welcome back. I will allow my guest to introduce herself. So over to you. Tell us who you are.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Acquah, for having me today. I'm super excited. I'm Abumusa. I'm an internal medicine physician by training.
Okay.
I am extremely passionate about anything related to medical education. I love teaching, mentoring, and assessing students and learners across all levels.
That's good.
I am also a women's health advocate, and on a personal note, I am proud to be raised in a culturally diverse background. I'm a daughter of 2 immigrants. I'm an older sister, and I'm married to my best friend.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing, you know, being married to your best friend.
Yes.
I'll go straight into what drew you to medicine, or why did you become a doctor?
What drew me to medicine? I get asked that a lot, and I'm sure you do as well, and my answer is not very typical. Growing up as a younger child, it's funny, I never really imagined being a doctor. I loved reading, and my mom used to take me to the library all the time. I wanted to be a librarian. But you know, later as I got older, my mom was a nurse, and I think growing up and seeing my mom really caring for her patients and having that empathy really just kind of warmed me up to the medical field, and I feel that that's kind of was my intro into the medical field altogether. I'm the first doctor on both of my mom and my dad's side. My father was a big supporter and really wanted to be a doctor, so I think it's a combination of my mom and kind of seeing her work ethic, but also having my dad as a huge supporter and wanting to become a doctor.
That's beautiful. All right, so becoming a doctor takes some time, lengthy education. Can you walk us through your education process of how you ended up here?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think when I think of my learning journey, a lot comes to mind. But I think the bigger picture, what really always makes me think about is, I think at a very young age, I really learned how to overcome change. And I feel I really did learn what it means to step out of our comfort zone in order to get achieve growth and fulfillment. So a little bit of context, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I was born and raised there, and then when I was about 13 years old, my family needed to move to the Middle East, to Jordan. So that's where I finished middle school and I graduated medical school. Okay. So for me, you know, at that age, moving and leaving the United States, leaving my friends, my neighbors, and my entire circle, and moving to not only another country, but a continent with a very different standards of culture and language, it was a huge shift, and it was frightening for me. But I think at a very young age, I learned how to embrace that. I learned the language, the culture, the traditions, and it soon became one of my pillars of identity. So I think, you know, just kind of learning at a very young age what change means and stepping out of our comfort zone. So a little after that, after I finished medical school, I came back to the United States to pursue my residency, and I did match an institution. I did my chief residency, and again, back to pursuing our dreams, I decided to pursue a career as a clinician educator. And I did my master's in the University of Pittsburgh, and I did a fellowship as an academic clinician educator.
The smart one right here, not me, okay? She's the one. All right, so what really brings you fulfillment in medicine? You know, for me, usually seeing my patients, educating them, they come in telling me that, hey, what we did worked, you know, the plan, you know, sufficed and everything, you know, makes me happy. If I can spend time with them and teach them, follow up, you know. When it comes to you, what exactly brings you fulfillment in this field of medicine?
Yeah, you know, Dr. Acquah, I think definitely like what you said, right? Seeing the impact that we have on our patients is beautiful. It's amazing. I think for me, what's really empowering is seeing the impact that I can have as an educator on learners. So I've been, you know, again, very much privileged to work with students and learners, and just seeing their growth, seeing them learn and unlearn, and seeing them fulfill their potential is absolutely rewarding. And I think not only that, but also having the opportunity to to really see those students grow into residents, grow into leaders, into advocates, and really meet that potential and fulfill that role that they deserve. When I was in Pittsburgh, one of the roles that I had, which I absolutely love, was I was a coach for medical students who struggled passing their USMLE Step 2. And I feel one of the most gratifying experiences I had was just having that phone call after very long, hard work of one-on-one mentoring and coaching on learning, and having that phone call from them and learning that they had passed their boards.
Of course.
That's very, very empowering and powerful for me.
Yep. All right, so we did scan online, trying to figure out who this guest is, and we did find that she holds an important role in one of the residency programs in New Jersey. Due to this, we want to ask, is interview season, is going on. We want to know if she has any tips to our candidates trying to apply to get into residency. What will be your tips?
One of the tips that I think is important is recognizing the impact of an interview and that human one-on-one interaction, right? We all might be perfect on paper, but really recognizing the value and the impact of what an interview can bring. We're in a virtual space right now, and what really separates us from the human in front of us is a screen, but we're learning how to adapt to the virtual space. But what I would say is that candidates, just making sure that you really are genuine, bringing their most authentic self, I think, can allow them to really stand out, and us as interviewees can really see through that. So just bringing their most genuine and most authentic self can come a long way.
Okay. So guys, you heard it. Don't look like a movie star where you come, looks like you memorize everything that you say. Just be yourself, be authentic. Yeah. All right. When everyone reach a certain stage of their life, it's more about looking back to your old self and then trying to see that what would you have done different, or what advice would you have given to your young self? To most people I've spoken with, it's more about thank you for not giving up. What would be the advice that you give to your young self? What would you say?
That's a great question, and I think a few things come to mind. One of them is realizing that nothing really comes easy, right? Effort is probably one of the most important elements for success. I think there's a quote that I absolutely love. It's from Angela Duckworth. She is an author. She says that without effort, your talent is simply your potential that's been unmet. And without effort, your talent is simply what you could have done, but you just didn't do. So recognizing that effort is really important for our success. You might be talented, you might be gifted, but if you don't put a lot of effort in it, you probably are not going to be going anywhere. So I think that's one of the most important advices I would give. The other is embracing change, honestly. I think for me, I've been through a lot of different changes in my life, just like how a lot of people did, but embracing it and just treating ourselves with some grace and embracing that change is important.
I see. All right, so in the field of medicine, over time, we are starting to see that change. Initially medicine was a very male-heavy specialty, where most of the doctors were male. But now females are working as hard as the male, and they're even doing much better, if I'm allowed to tell the truth. So I know there are young ladies out there wanting to become doctors one day. There are young guys out there also who wants to become physicians one day. What would be your advice to the young person out there who wants to become a doctor?
I think, number one is really just having that inner self-belief in what we're able to accomplish. I think that's really important, having that inner drive and inner belief in what we're capable of doing, and listening to that inner voice is extremely important. And I think one of the important piece of advice that I think of is it's important to find passion in our work. And in order to do that, you need a little bit of discovery. We need to spend some time discovering what makes us happy and what makes us passionate. You want to spend a lot of time in developing that passion, and then you want to spend the rest of your life just deepening that. So I think just spending some time really thinking about what is it that makes us passion, what brings us joy, what brings us fulfillment, then try to develop that, and then spend the rest of your life deepening that. And I like to think that that's what I'm trying to do. When I was a chief resident, I recognized that I love teaching, and I spent some time discovering that, and I spent some time developing it. when I went to Pittsburgh and did my master's in medical education, and now I'm here and I'm hoping to live my lifetime deepening that.
So we get into the end of this chat. Everyone that comes to this platform, I usually give them the opportunity to give a shout out. You know, you do see beautiful trees out there. You know, they do not just come out like that. You know, there is the nutrients in the soil, you know, the rain, the sunshine, you know, there's everything coming in to support that tree to become what it is that we see and admire. We go pluck the fruits, you know, but that tree went through something, you know, to become what it is. So when it comes to you, who would you give shout out and give an opportunity?
Oh gosh, many people. Many people. I hope I don't forget anybody, but I think the first person that comes to my mind, of course, is my husband. He was my best friend for a very long time, and he was my number one, and remains my number one supporter. So I give him a huge shout out, and I love him so much. I think other than that, I think all the mentors that I have met, whether at Pittsburgh, were outstanding, amazing women, and who served as role models for me. So I would absolutely give them a huge shout out and really thank them for pushing me forward. So I thank them and my younger sisters.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Okay. Any final words?
Really have that inner belief to push yourself forward and never stop, and always continue to pursue what really does make you happy.
Okay. All right, guys. So pursue what makes you happy. Never stop pushing. Okay. So in case you have any questions for me, in case you have any questions for Dr. Abumusa, please do your best and leave it in the comment section below. If you want to send a private message, please do so. You can find that on my platform. Other than that, hey, continue to be yourself and keep raising the status quo. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.